Hi everyone. Today we are going to see the first lab experiment in which we are going to create IAM user and IAM administrator user. What is IAM? IAM stands for Identity and Access Management in AWS, and we are going to create an IAM admin user. So here, whenever we say like IAM admin user in AWS, it is a group in which we provide some kind of an security mechanism and our access mechanism, so that like we bring in the IAM user into that particular group, and we provide some kind of an access to the various resources that is available in the AWS. So we are going to discuss those things in detail now. So first I'm going to teach you now, like how we can able to log into that AWS Academy login. So you might all received an AWS Academy login credentials in your mail ID. So I'm going to show you like how to go into that AWS Academy login and how to go into this AWS management console. So that is the first task we are going to see in this lab experiment. And later on, because the first experiment, what you're going to see is the IAM admin creation of IAM admin user and the IAM user. So that is not possible with this AWS Academy login, because there is some kind of an access privileges that is being set by our AWS admin in our university. So they won't be giving that access right to us in this AWS Academy login. That's the reason like we need to create a personal account with some dummy what is it, the Visa debit or credit card which has some low amount. So that is where like we actually use this dummy account to do this particular experiment. Before this, I'll let you know like how we can able to go into this AWS Academy login and how to activate this one. So as usual, like I also received the AWS Academy login, like how you have received. So I'm just searching this AWS Academy login in my mail ID. So you can check, maybe like I can go for AWS instead of AWS Academy login, where it shows was like you might got one invitation. Maybe like I'll search with AWS Academy. So you can type AWS Academy in the search box, where you might received one course invitation. You can find here in my mailbox, where I have received a course invitation from this AWS Academy with your name and email ID. You can click this get started. So already like I have logged in previously, so I am directly I can log in with those credentials. But when you are going to be a first time user, like click the student login. Like when you click that link, like it will directly take it to this student login page, like that can AWS login page, where the username is your email ID, like SRM mail ID. I'm also going to give the same thing. And the password, like already I logged in. So when you're logging first time, like what are the password you're going to give? Like you can give it the same password you should use like every time when you log into this AWS Academy. So that is a way like already I have used it. So I'm going to give this password, the same password. But if you're going to be a first time user, like you can create a password and you can use the same password subsequently in the upcoming logins. So that is a place where we use this login credentials such as your SRM mail ID and the password that we use. And once you give this thing like the username and password, it directly takes to this particular AWS Academy Learners Lab 52087. So that is the place where it has been mapped in your mail ID also. So you have to click this select models to start the course. And once you click that select model start the course, like you will be getting this particular page where you have to click this learners lab. So once this page gets loaded, you can see like it is initiating, and where initially you can see the AWS is in idle state. You can see a red circle there. It means that the AWS management console is not ready. What you have to do is you have to click this start lab, and now you can see like the red has turned into yellow. So it means that it is initiating. So once it's become ready, or the AWS management console is ready, you can see like the yellow circle will be changing into green color. So now AWS has been started. So this is the place where you can see like the changes has been done. Like now you have to click this AWS. If you click this AWS, it takes you to the AWS management console. And what are the services that is being mapped by this admin user from our university? So you can use all the services that is meant for you. But the thing is that like our first lab experiment is creation of IAM user and IAM admin user. So that is not possible with this login. So we are moving to this personal account. So before moving to the personal account, you have been given like $100 for this entire 6 months period of time. So you have to utilize effectively, because in the upcoming experiment, like you will be creating an EC2 instance using this particular AWS Academy only. But you have to terminate the instance properly, like as soon as you complete your task by creating that virtual machine. So because in the background it will keep running, so that like you will be losing all these 100 credits at the end. Like you cannot use this academy login for any other purpose. Like once it comes to this $100 in the, like as of now, like I have used like $0 of $100. But once this EC2 instance that you create, if you won't terminate properly, like it takes or it charges more, like after some period of time. So ultimately you'll be losing this 100 credits in that. So be aware of that particular thing. So now like I have created this, I have started this lab, and you can see like how I went to this AWS management console by clicking this AWS. Now like I'm going to end this lab, because like as I said, like the first experiment cannot be done with this AWS Academy. That's the reason like we are moving to this personal account. Okay, so for this, like I am ending the lab. So in the new tab, like I am going to this normal AWS login. So this is the AWS management console. And here, this is the AWS management console page, like you have to sign in. So our first experiment is like creation of IAM user and IAM admin user. So since I have not signed it properly, it directly takes to this Academy management console only. So I'm just signing out from this particular thing, and I need to come out of this particular dashboard, where I'm going to log out from this AWS Academy first. Then I'm going to use my personal account, AWS account, to do this particular experiment. Like you also should create a dummy account, and you do the first experiment. AWS login, where I have created my AWS login. So click this sign in console, where I'm the root user. I'm not IAM user. So you can become a root user. Like if your friend is not having any AWS account, like you can, if you have the account of root user, like you can give access to your friend by creating an IAM user, so that like you can provide like what sort of resources or access to this AWS that can be set to for this IAM user, and you can make use of that IAM user for your friend. So that's the way like we can help others also, but make sure that you give only some limited access or limited services of AWS to your friend. But what happens is some case in some cases, like if the IAM user what we create, and if you give all services access to that particular IAM user, like whatever he use it, like you need to pay for it. So you should be very cautious when you create an IAM user, and you should restrict some access permission to your IAM user. So that's a place where we try to bring in this IAM user. But I am the root user, where I have created an personal account and I'm going to use this personal account for this experiment. So as usual, like the password is there, like I set it. Maybe like it's not taking. I'll give the password. So I will log into my personal account. Now, either in the recently visited services, like these are services that is listing there. In that also IAM is there. If you can't find this services in this recently visited page, you can type IAM in this search box. I am typing IAM. So you can see like IAM, it provide manage access to various AWS resources or services. So now I'm going to click this IAM. Already in my login, I have created an user group called one, which is the IAM admin user, and I have created one IAM user, and I have assigned some roles for that particular group and the users. And I have not set any policies for those users or the user groups. So you can see like my instance would be running in this US East one, which is called as North Virginia or global thing. My instance is running is in global, not in US East one. So in most of the cases, like as I explained in the class, so most of the services will be available in this particular region called US East, called North Virginia. Like whenever the AWS brings a new service into their data center, so in this region only it will get launched first. So then only for the other regions. So that is a place like most of the services will be available in this US East one region. So what is our task is, so first we are going to create an IAM admin user. We used to call that as a user group. So already I have created one admin user. So I'm going to delete this IAM admin user by by clicking this delete button. So now I need to type the same thing like admin underscore demo. So if I write this one, I can delete this one. So user group has been deleted. So what I'm going to do is like when I click this user groups, it will show like 0 now. Okay, so you can see at the top also, or either you can click the IAM once again, and you can see like the user groups has become 0. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to create an admin. Like whenever we say like user group, is indirectly it means that it is an admin group, because we create an admin group and we provide some kind of an policies or access mechanism for this particular user group or the admin group, and we bring in the IAM user into that particular group. So like first agenda is to create a group. We indirectly like we say like we create a group means we are creating an admin. So we are creating a group. So what I'm going to do here is like I'm going to enter the name. Like as usual, like um I can use this particular name called IAM underscore demo. So this is the username for this particular group name for this particular user group. And already I have created one IAM user and added it to this particular group. So I'm going to delete, or I can create a new user for this particular group. So I can refresh it like it has been created 6 days ago. I can click this user on this batch too, and I can delete this particular user like a batch 2. So that particular user has been deleted. So I'm coming back to the user group as usual, like we have created one user group. No, we are not created user group. So now we are doing this process once again as usual, like it's very simple task. So go to the user group or the admin where we create a group name called admin score demo. That is the user group name. And you can select any kind of, and so I'm going to use the policy called administrator access policy for this particular group called admin demo. So what is the functionality of this policy name called administrator access is it provide full access to all AWS services. So it means that the whatever the user we create and bring into this particular group called admin underscore demo uh, group or the user group or the admin, like that particular user will get all the administrator access. So what is the first step? Like I have created a group called admin underscore demo, and I have attached only one policy. Like based on your requirement, you can attach n number of policy. You can see like there are more than 44 policies, and it's keep going beyond that one. Like whatever the policy that is applicable for your own group and for your user, you can choose it and you can attach that particular policy to that particular group. So now I am creating an admin called admin underscore demo group. Now it will be created. So you can see like admin underscore demo user has been created and it's been creating. So wait a minute, it's getting loaded. It takes a time, like, but in the top like you get a green symbol like admin underscore demo user group has been created, and we have attached one policy called administrator access to this particular group called admin underscore demo. Indirectly, like this particular user group called admin underscore demo would be the admin user. So once it's been created, I'll be creating an IAM user and we'll be attaching that IAM user into a group. So like you can create n number of groups and n number of users, and like what are the policy you want to set for that particular group, you can set for that particular group, and you can add the user into that particular group. So if you want to add an user to a particular group which provides only administrator access, you can add to that particular. If you want to add some other policy into a group and you want to bring that particular user into that particular group, you can add it. So it's taking a bit time. So what I do is like I'll click once again like IAM. So now you can see the dashboard of thing. Like I have created one user group or the admin called admin underscore demo. Now I go to the users. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an IAM user, and the username is dev ops. I'm just keeping a name called DevOps as a username, and I'm just checking this box because like you need to specify like whether that IAM user needs to specify uh, whether you're going to provide any user access to that particular person called this what is a user called DevOps, and you are going to provide access to the AWS management console or not. So if you provide that particular user access to that AWS management console, you can click the checkbox. So that is one. And like you want to create an IAM user, so you have to click this one. Like instead of specifying user in identity center, which is recommended, like you can what is a click this one called I want to create an IAM user, and you can use auto-generated password. So with AWS will do this particular task for your IAM creation, IAM user. And like if you want to set a custom password for your IAM user also, you can set it. So, but like as usual, like how we get this auto-generated password or the login for in AWS Academy login, the same way like we can click this auto-generated password, and like once you click this auto generated password, like it automatically enables this user must create a new password in the next sign in. So that is the another policy that has been attached with this user called IAM user change password policy, where the user will be forced to change their password. So if you click this custom password, so it is not required, where you can disable this one. Okay, but we are going to do this auto generated password for this IAM user, and you can do this one like next. You can click next button, and you can see like whether you need to add this particular user to the group, or you need to copy the permission for this user. Like if you click copy permissions or attach policies directly, like you can directly attach the policies. So instead of bringing that particular IAM user into a particular group. So that is also possible. But what you're going to do is, already we have created an admin user. So in this, like we are bringing an IAM user into that particular group. Or else like you create a normal IAM user, and you can directly attach the policies for that particular IAM user, and you can share that IAM user link to that particular person for whom we want to provide what is it, the access to the various resources of AWS. So I am not going to do the do this particular task of attaching the policies direct to the IAM user, where like I have created an admin user, and I have attached one policy to that particular group, and I have created one IAM user and making that user to add in this particular group. So already I have created an admin group called admin underscore demo, and I have created an IAM user called DevOps, and you can see the attached policy is called administrator access, and I'm going to add this particular user called DevOps into this particular admin user, or the group called the IAM user group called admin underscore demo. It means that you can see the before we go to the last stage, like the IAM user creation, you can review and create. Like here, the IAM user would be, the username would be like DevOps, and the password would be console password type, like auto generated. Required password set is this thing, and the permission summary is like since we are adding that particular IAM user into this admin demo, like we have provided one particular policy called administrator access policy, and this policy comes default with this AWS. As you can see, like this particular thing is managed by AWS, which is called as the forced password change. And I'm going to create a user. So now you can see like an user has been created, and you should be very cautious in say copying this password. I'm going to copy this password because this password has been generated by the AWS. So now like I can, you can mail this. What is, for example, like if your friend doesn't have AWS account and you have an AWS account, and you want to provide certain access to certain services, or the all the services in AWS, that can be done by creation of this IAM user. So either you can email the sign in instruction, or directly you can share this console sign in URL, and the username and password to a friend. Like he can, even though like he doesn't have AWS account, but still like with the help of you, like he can able to get the services and access to this AWS. So that is advantage for which we go for this particular services in AWS called identity and access management, which is called as IAM. So now I'm going to copy this one, and I'm going to open this incognito window, because I'm going to paste this console. Let it be here. I'll go back once again, and I'm going to copy this password. Okay. So now I'm going to log out from my personal account, and you should be very cautious. Like if you don't copy this password, you cannot able to log in. Okay. So this is the three things that you need to share with your friend if he doesn't have any AWS account or access to AWS. So what I'm going to do is, like I have my personal account, and for which I have created another IAM user, through which like he can able to get access to this AWS services. So now I'm signing out from my particular personal login. I'm clicking sign out, and you know, like I have opened an incognito mode, and where the URL like console sign in URL was being copied there in the browser, and I'm going to hit this one. I assigned it from, so directly it takes to this account ID, and like what is the username? It is the IAM username is the DevOps, D caps and O caps, and the remaining everything is small. And already I have copied the password there. I'm going to use this particular password, and you can see like now I am going to give this old password once again, and new password like I'm going to set now. So likewise, I like to whom you are sharing this particular IAM user, like they can also do the same process like what I'm doing now. So I'm going to confirm the password once again. Maybe like I can use some lengthy password so that it works properly. Confirm password change. So the password has been changed. So every time like see my instance or my console was been running in global region, but you have created an IAM user and you have shared with your friend with that console login, and you can see that particular what you say the console has been or the AWS service has been running in this Stockholm. See, and now we have been landed directly to this AWS, and you provide like what are the service you actually want in this particular thing. Like you can do it like for example, like you can go for EC2, you get EC2, and like if you want to get IAM, you will get IAM. So whatever the service you want to use it, like you can use it. And you can see the user group that has been attached for this IAM user, next everything. And what are the services you want to access it, you can access it like EC2. So likewise, like what are the services that has been defined by your root user of for the IAM user, those services can be accessed in this AWS. So now you can sign out from this AWS, and you need to remember the console sign in every time, and the username and the password, because like you have changed the username, the password has been set by you, and the console sign in like you should be if you have only like you can able to sign into that particular console. So with this, like I have explained clearly like how to create an IAM admin user, and how to bring that particular user into that particular group and provide the access or services to this particular user. Thank you all.